How does a company lose hundreds of millions of dollars on a product that almost nobody wants, only to become the most valuable chipmaker in human history? We are told that the tech giants of Silicon Valley are masters of the future, but the story of NVIDIA isn't one of perfect foresight. It is a story of pure, unadulterated desperation. For years, Jensen Huang was told he was lighting money on fire. The world saw a company making toys for video gamers, while Jensen saw a bridge to a godlike intelligence. While competitors held onto safe, profitable margins, NVIDIA was betting the entire house on a specialized piece of silicon that many experts called a dead end. Today, that dead end is the engine of the global economy. But to understand how we got here, we have to go back to a time when NVIDIA was just weeks away from total bankruptcy, and their only hope was a Japanese toy company and a dream of 3D graphics that everyone thought was impossible. In 1993, the foundation of the AI revolution wasn't laid in a sleek laboratory, but in a booth at a Denny's diner in San Jose. Jensen Huang, Chris Malowski, and Curtis Preem had $40,000 and a single, obsessive idea. At the time, computers were flat, boring, and strictly two-dimensional. The trio believed that PC gaming was the gateway to a massive new market, but they weren't just thinking about pixels, they were thinking about parallel processing. While a standard CPU handles tasks like a genius standing in a single line, a GPU, or graphics processing unit, handles tasks like an army of thousands working together. It was a radical shift in architecture. They chose the name NVIDIA, derived from NVIDIA, the Latin word for envy. They wanted to build tech so powerful it would make the rest of the industry turn green. But the road from a diner booth to a functional chip was paved with near-fatal errors. Their first product, the NV1, was a technical marvel but a commercial disaster. It used curved surfaces instead of triangles, a bet that the industry ignored, leaving NVIDIA broke and broken. By 1996, NVIDIA was essentially dead. They had failed to follow industry standards, and they were down to their last few months of cash. In a move of pure survival, Jensen made a gut-wrenching decision. He abandoned his own curved technology and pivoted to the industry-standard triangle-based rendering, the same tech used by Microsoft's DirectX. It was a humiliating admission of defeat, but it gave birth to the Riva 128. This chip was small, fast, and affordable. Suddenly, the gaming world caught fire. For the first time, PCs could rival arcade machines. Sales exploded. Within months, NVIDIA went from the brink of extinction to an IPO in 1999. They had survived the first great filter of Silicon Valley. But Jensen wasn't satisfied with just making games look pretty. He had noticed something strange. Scientists were starting to buy gaming parts, not to play Quake, but to solve complex math problems. This was the aha moment that would eventually threaten the dominance of giants like Intel. In 2006, Jensen Huang made a decision that sparked a massive investor revolt. He announced CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture. It was a software platform that allowed anyone, not just game developers, to use the GPU for general-purpose computing. To Wall Street, this looked like a madness. NVIDIA was spending billions of dollars to put expensive, specialized hardware into every single chip for a group of customers that didn't even exist yet. For nearly a decade, NVIDIA's profit margins took a massive hit. The stock price withered. Critics called CUDA a bridge to nowhere. But Jensen was playing a much longer game. He was building a massive, global developer community. By giving away the tools to turn a graphics card into a supercomputer, he was seeding the ground for the next great epoch of human technology. He wasn't just selling hardware anymore, he was building an ecosystem. And while the world laughed, a group of researchers in Canada were about to prove that Jensen was a visionary, not a fool. The year was 2012, and the world of computer science was about to change forever. At the ImageNet competition, a team led by Alex Krzyzewski and Jeffrey Hinton unveiled AlexNet. It was a deep learning model that crushed the competition, and it was trained entirely on 2 consumer-grade NVIDIA GeForce cards. This was the big bang of artificial intelligence. Suddenly, the entire world realized that the same tech used to render shadows in Call of Duty was actually the key to simulating the human brain. Deep learning required massive, parallel calculations, and NVIDIA CUDA was the only platform ready to handle it. Overnight, NVIDIA went from being a gaming company to the most important infrastructure provider on the planet. Google, Facebook, and Amazon scrambled to buy every chip NVIDIA could produce. Jensen didn't just meet the demand, he doubled down again, pivoting the entire company's research and development toward the data center. The gamble had finally paid off, and the payout was bigger than anyone imagined. But hardware is only half the battle. In the world of semiconductors, the most dangerous place to be is at the mercy of your supply chain. NVIDIA doesn't actually manufacture its own chips. It follows a fabless model, designing the architecture and outsourcing the physical creation to TSMC in Taiwan. This partnership is the most critical alliance in modern tech. As the complexity of AI chips grew, the manufacturing process became almost impossibly difficult. We're talking about etched lines just a few atoms wide. NVIDIA's real genius was its ability to synchronize its roadmap with TSMC's cutting-edge production. By the time competitors like Intel or AMD tried to catch up, NVIDIA had already locked in the capacity and the designs for the next 3 generations of silicon. They weren't just faster at calculating data, they were faster at iterating. They moved from a 3-year cycle to a 1-year cycle, leaving the rest of the industry breathless and struggling to keep pace. They had built a moat made of both math and physical manufacturing. As we move into the mid-2020s, NVIDIA's vision has expanded beyond the screen and into the real world. Enter the Omniverse. This isn't just a gimmick or a video game, it is a platform for industrial metaverses. Companies like BMW are using NVIDIA tech to build digital twins of their entire factories. They can simulate every robot, every worker, and every screw before a single physical brick is laid. This is the ultimate evolution of the GPU, from drawing pixels in a diner to simulating reality itself. With the release of the H100 and Blackwell architectures, NVIDIA has effectively become the landlord of the AI era. If you want to train an LLM, if you want to run a self-driving car, or if you want to discover new drugs through protein folding, you have to pay the NVIDIA tax. They have achieved the rarest feat in business, becoming a trillion-dollar company that provides the fundamental oxygen for the future of civilization. So, what is the lesson of NVIDIA? It is that the most profitable path is often the one that looks the most illogical at the start. Jensen Huang didn't succeed because he followed the market. He succeeded because he waited for the market to catch up to him. He endured 10 years of skepticism, billions in losses, and the constant threat of irrelevance. But he understood a fundamental truth, that the world's hunger for data and computation is infinite. NVIDIA is no longer just a chip company. It is the nervous system of the 21st century. As we stand on the brink of artificial general intelligence, we realize that the envy they named themselves after has become the envy of the entire business world. The lesson is simple. Solve the hardest problems first. Build a community around the solution, and never, ever be afraid to bet the house on the future. Because in the world of high tech, if you aren't the one disrupting, you are the one being erased. I hope this deep dive gave you a new perspective on the strategies and the relentless mindset behind these global icons. If you enjoy deconstructing business empires and tech legends in this tech archive style, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. That way, you will never miss a new blueprint of history. For those of you ready to explore more boardroom coups and technological breakthroughs, I have handpicked 2 videos for you right here on the screen. Click one to keep watching. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.